Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Joey Stephen from the Polinsys Studios, and here is a video for the Student Herald. How to become a Canadian citizen after you study in Canada. Now, permanent residents to Canada may be approached in different ways. You may apply for permanent residence in Canada under the Federal Skilled Worker Program, FSW program, which is currently managed through the Express Entry platform. This is for people with work experience, people who have work experience outside Canada. Now, you can also apply for permanent residence in Canada under the Canadian Experience class. For those of you who do not know the meaning of permanent residence, you must watch my video on the benefits of being a permanent resident. Permanent residence under Canadian Experience class is for people with work experience inside Canada. Now, both these programs focus on work experience and knowledge of English, or your IELTS course. In this video, I am going to tell you about how to approach permanent residence through the education pathway. It is study in Canada and then approaching permanent residence, progressing into citizenship, being a citizen of Canada. This is a series of 10 short videos, and I am focusing on 10 major points of discussion in each of these separate short clips, and each of these points are extremely important. It may take time to watch all the videos in one go, so try to watch them in stages before you visit your education agent, so that you have a good knowledge about permanent residence approaches. This will give you an idea as how to settle in Canada and what you should be careful about when it comes to course selection and what type of institutions you need to study in. Keep in mind that the money you spend in Canada to study is worth a lot more when you are allowed to settle in the country. In this video, I will generally discuss the main points and some ideas and the regulation. The main points which we are going to discuss in this series of videos are: 1. What gets you permanent residence? 2. Type of educational institution to study. 3. Type of course you must study. 4. Duration of course you must study. 5. English language scores, that is IELTS scores or CELPIP scores. 6. Importance of work. What has work to do with your permanent residence? 7. Don't have inhibitions. I've come up with this video with that particular clip only because when I talk to students in Canada, they have a lot of inhibitions, and it's better not to have those inhibitions. 8. Benefits of permanent residence. Very important. You must understand what is the use of becoming a permanent resident in Canada. Point number 9. Permanent residence progressing into citizenship and how you achieve that. Point number 10. Why use a Canadian company for your education and immigration needs? These 10 videos are created separately, and if you are a student looking to study in Canada and you have this idea of wanting to settle in the country with a good future, please watch each of those videos and try to understand how to approach resettlement. It is permanent residence and citizenship of Canada. Approaches to permanent residence does not begin after you come to Canada, but you must prepare right from the beginning. This video will focus on the first section: what gets you permanent residence in Canada. We will talk about the Canadian regulation on permanent residence, especially the Canadian Experience class or CEC. That's one of the programs which allows you to apply for permanent residence. The second program is the Caregiver program, which has 2 separate sections, and we will discuss that when we come to that. What does the regulation say for permanent residents? First of all, we will talk about the Canadian Experience Class, which I will refer to as CEC, Canadian Experience Class. Under this migration pathway, selection is based on a minimum of 1 year work experience inside Canada and achieving the minimum IELTS or CELPIP language scores of CLB 7. It is approximately 6-band IELTS. Secondly, we'll talk about the caregiver program. Under this migration pathway for permanent residents, selection is based on a minimum of 2-year work experience in Canada if you are related to childcare and care for people with high medical needs, nurses for example. This need not be a skilled occupation if you are applying under this program. Achieving minimum IELTS or CELPIP language scores of CLB 5, it is approximately IELTS 6 band, is also a requirement. If you look at both these PR regulations, you will know that the important component for your permanent residence application is your work experience. So even as a student, you must focus on your work experience. The other major considerations you will have to make is that all students do not obtain permanent residence in Canada. At any given time, there are around 500,000 approximately temporary residents in the country, and the quotas under CEC or Canadian Experience Class is around 100,000 permanent resident visas. Therefore, not everyone will get permanent residence, and those of you who understand immigration regulations and approach permanent residence at a very early stage are the ones who are likely to capitalize on the Canadian permanent residence opportunity. Most students focus on PR or permanent residence only after it is too late. Therefore, if you are attending an immigration session, that is today, or you're watching this video today, even before you go to Canada, you are on the right track. Always attend the free Student Herald seminars in Canada to keep yourself updated on immigration regulations. I have created a worksheet for you. When you choose to study in Canada, make sure you check yes to all these points listed in this worksheet. If all checked as yes, you are on the safest pathway to permanent residence and citizenship in Canada. Once you become a permanent resident, you can apply for Canadian passport after you live in the country for 4 years, and you can go through the process of becoming a Canadian citizen in case you want to. You have possibly chosen the right country to study because Canada offers the best resettlement options for students. However, you need to understand the regulations and make an effort to be strategic and approach permanent residence professionally. Good luck to all of you. Adios.